Yeah. What's up, y'all? This is 2 Minutes and a Change. Not the blog, but the radio show. And today we got some good things coming up what we're going to talk about and we're going to discuss on this show. We had a good show last week with Straight Jacket, and we're going to continue because we got Senator Hailey. And he's been a senator in Kansas and representing Wyandotte County for a minute. So you know how we do it. Before we get to it, let's get to it.
Live from Kansas City, Kansas, a.k.a. The Dot. It's the Tell It Like a T.I. Is show with your host, Vigilante.
Yeah, let it come in. Feel it real quick. Make sure y'all log on and talk to us. Because we're going to talk about some politics. We're going to get with Senator Hailey and talk about some things as well as go a little overtime and talk about other issues that we need to talk about straight up. So when I got with him, I wanted to talk to him about some things. I want to have a sit down. And we had a big meeting today with a lot of big wigs that make laws in Kansas. And I caught him on the side. I had to catch him. So you might hear a little noise in the background, but I had to do what I got to do to get the interview. Let's get to the interview right about now. I caught him, so you hear noise in the background, it's okay, because he's doing this on the run before he go out and continue handling business in Topeka. So what's going on, bro? How you doing? Let people know who I'm talking to.
All right. This is David Hailey. I appreciate you having me, Brother Suggs, and good to be on 2 Minutes and Change Radio.
All right. So let's just talk about it, man. How long have you been doing this thing, in politics in Kansas?
Politics or politics? I've been glad to be in for about, this is my 22nd year. I first ran about 28 years ago, but they finally got me elected, and I'm the last attorney left now in the Kansas Senate after 22 years of serving, 6 years in the House, and now my 17th year in the Senate. And what we try to do is to even or find balance, equity, to give voice to the voiceless, not to sound cliche, but that's what we're trying to do. I represent the inner city of Kansas City, Kansas. Proud to do that. And I think we need to be heard more often on various issues, not just the traditional issues like employment opportunities and also fair trade, but also issues that resonate with crime, that resonate with empowerment. And that's what I've been trying to do for the last few years, is to reflect that in my advocacy. Okay, so what do you think about some of the issues that plagues Black America when you talk about, I call it ignorant on ignorant crime. I don't necessarily say it's black on black crime because you tend to kill who you stay next to. A lot of white people kill each other. But, so what do you think about that thing and the mass incarceration that's happening with a bunch of people? What do you think about that? Well, I've never liked mandatory minimums, but I actually absolutely am pushing for a bill that gives 5 years for anybody that shoots into a house or car in a drive-by shooting. Yeah. People say, well, don't you think that's going to have a disparate effect on the people you represent? I said, well, you have to understand, I don't want to live next to anybody who's going to go around and just shoot into a house, hurting innocent people, or shoot into a car because bullets don't have eyes. And so we have to look at policies and better understand how concealed carry, for example, affects us. And some people want to carry concealed because right now the people carrying concealed have no business carrying a gun. And so we have to look at policies on a broader basis, and I try to do that when we look at how we address crime and the arguments for or against that, not always be so Pollyannish, if you will, in terms of what society we'd like to have, but deal with the realities of the society that we're really in.
So now that Obama is out of the office, what do you think about the new Trump era?
Well, I think that we need to continue really to have a resonant feeling of what the Obama administration attempted to achieve.
Okay.
In other words, resonant themes that remain are universal health care. Resonant themes that remain in a post-Obama world is that there's inclusion and that there's tolerance. And we have to keep these values and enshrine them to our beliefs because it still is what the majority, those are two issues that the majority of Americans still believe, regardless of his successor and the Trump administration being in.
Okay, so what do you think about Trump? Are you taking a wait-and-see approach or what when it comes to him?
Well, Donald Trump is president of the United States.
Yeah.
And we can continue to have remorse, and some of us can continue to rail against it and say he's not our president, but the reality of it is he is. What we need to do is to, I believe, focus on how we can take the disappointment that many of us feel, and I'm one of them, and turn the lemons into some lemonade that's going to be beneficial for the years that he will be in office. We have to be proactive in that and work with this administration to try to find what can be beneficial for us. And maybe, who knows, maybe something good can and will come of his presidency.
Okay, on a local level, and a lot of people are feeling fed up. You deal with the things that, we've seen. You think about the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of police brutality, a lot of things like that's happening. What can black people do? What can they hang their hat on when it comes to entrepreneurship, education? Some of the inner cities are people are starving. How do we break these stereotypes, and how can we have confidence in the black community that we still matter in this country?
We do matter, and we continue to see some great strides that we're making, and to answer some of the questions of certainly employment opportunity, entrepreneurship. We work with the program. I work with the program by those who are, I call, returning citizens who've been away for a while. Are returning citizens that are coming back that embrace entrepreneurship and that will be given some opportunities through state. Getting back to what I do at the state level, state participation, and to give those who find some benefit in what they've learned and what their creative talent can bring to our economy. There are some opportunities. We still have a long way to go. I look at some of our shuttered down businesses and boarded up houses. I look at where our home ownership can and should be and what we are doing to flip architecture, if you will, flip houses, flip businesses, and put them into the striving hands, especially from within the inner city, the black community, of those that we can and should be. Government ought to play a role, I feel, in connecting those who are truly striving to other things that are there that are being underutilized, like structures or buildings.
So when it comes to renting homes, renters, you were talking about how some homes were being demolished. How do a person who's maybe got bad credit and all these things feel hopeless, like I ain't got nowhere to stay, my credit's bad? How do we help that when we see houses becoming parking lots? What can we do to try to revive a person that's going through that, where he feel hopeless in one of the most richest countries in America? I'm not America, but in the world.
Financial literacy is key. We often, it's not what you make, it's how you spend it. And if we're able to somehow capture the revenue we generate, people have a way, or we often have a way to find a way to do it, what it is we want to do. The money we make, we find a way to get the things we want to get. We got those Jordans, but then first of the month can't pay the rent. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of prioritizing and finding a level of literacy in our spending, in our income and our spending. And one of those that I've always felt is to find a way to increase home ownership. And, everything from looking at houses and tax sales and fixing them up, which is frankly how I started. I bought my first house out of a tax sale. And, I put the money together, and that has empowered me through the years, and I have to meet the man at the first of the month with his rent check. I mean, that's given me a certain level of independence that I might not have otherwise have had. And it was just one of those fortunate things I try to share with everyone. Find a house that you can buy, even if it's not exactly your dream home. It is one that can be a starter home to help you put all your finances in order. Look at your spending habits and how you're able to capture your own wealth and work on that.
What else would you have to say to the audience just listening now about just your overall think? Should a black man or black woman have a sense of our future look bright? Because you hear a lot of gloom and doom about it, and I want your opinion. They hear my opinion all the time. But if you're an 18-year-old getting ready to go off to school or whatever you're about to do, should that person feel like that his dreams could come true in the land of the free, or should we be concerned with all the violence and all the disdain for certain black people in this country? What would be your speech to them, let them know that they can make it?
Well, my late uncle, Alex, author of Roots,
that's right,
author of the autobiography of Malcolm X, had a saying. He said, "Define the good and praise it." And that's what he was saying. And what I'm saying is there's a whole lot of good that comes out of our community. There's more good. We focus or have a tendency to focus on what is the distinct minority of problems from within our community. We let that rule our thinking. And it shouldn't. We should be finding the good and praising and working with it. I see, and I'm very fortunate to see so many budding success stories coming out of our community. I mean, bright minds, sharp talent. I mean, we're in an area where we have international stars now, from actors to singers. Right? Yeah, we can name quite a few, you know. And that came out of our community. They came out, and not just entertainment. Yeah. We have those that are creating, using entrepreneurship, using their minds, excelling in various areas academically, all over this country now that came from KCK. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is we need to accentuate the positive things that are coming, and to do what we can to extol it, to let all the clownish and foolishness for that small percentage that give a bad name to our community, to marginalize them and put them in the corner, in the really small corner where they belong, and to really promote and continue to promote and uplift ourselves.
I think that there should be, I call it, you know how churches have missionaries, right? I think the people that have been successful, the people that can teach financial literacy, I think that we need to meet some of these people halfway and talk about it and show them. Because I think a lot of people want to go to somebody, but they don't know who to call, who to get to help me when I'm bad at keeping my budget together. I need somebody to train me. How can we find those resources to tell these people, you can go here to find out this, you go here to learn about, Fannie Mae or whatever the FHA or whatever that place is called for first-time buyers. How do we have... A lot of times we lack because we don't have the knowledge about what we want. We know what we want, but we don't know how to get to it. How can we find some bridge to help these people get to that?
It's interesting. Now we're in a good place. Yeah. Right now, Roger. We're in a better place because we are able to find government connected assistance to some of the goals and dreams that we're establishing through a Google Society. Yeah. You can put that in for local government. Here's the UG, the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. Also for the state of Kansas, kansas.gov. And, of course, the federal is through our congressional and our U.S. Talent that's along that line. But anyway, this is always something that we hope that we can find some kind of meaningful way to connect through the internet, to have these, to put in and connect ourselves to various dreams.
Yep. And in the background, you have people, because we out here, I had to snatch Senator Hailey, and I'm thankful for you taking time out.
I enjoyed
to
it.
talk.
I hope this won't be the last time.
No. We're going to get you on more setting where we ain't got so much noise going on. So you're hearing a lot of people talking and stuff like that. But this is my show. I catch them where I catch them at. I got a chance to pull them up and talk to them about this. So
it's kind of a nice effect on radio. We should have coffee mugs in the background.
Coffee mugs in the background. You got people talking all in the hall. Hey, where your cousin at?
We're not in the studio here.
We're not in the studio.
We're on the streets.
We're in the field. But before we get out of here, because I had to keep it hip hop. Who's your favorite rapper? Name 3 rappers of all time. If I said your top 3 rappers of all time, you say?
Well, one of them I probably shouldn't say, but I liked Easy.
Easy.
Right? I mean, originally he did because I liked his flow and the way he brought it. Yeah. Easy really did. In fact, I probably know more of his than. But then there was Trick Daddy did some. I'm kind of old school.
That's okay, Trick Daddy.
I can still go back. Just into Sugar Hill when they first brought us in and brought the rhythm. Yeah. The rhythm of the body would be. When they first brought it in, when they first did to bring us into hip hop. Yeah. But more recently, I've been listening to very closely what Chance is doing. Chance. Yeah. And the message that he brings. Yeah. But there's a variety of it. I've always said that way back when Stevie Wonder did something on a song called Always. Always, it was like early rap, that he put it. It wasn't really the same hip hop beat. Yeah. But we've had there've been several through the years that have touched me, and I really don't want to say I have favorites, but there's some who've had resonant themes in their lyrics and what they're bringing in terms of messaging that has really been a part of my life.
Did you think hip hop would be this big when you first got into it?
No. See,
you thought it was going to be disco? You thought it was going to fade?
Well, I didn't know, but I think it's good that it has. It's definitely an integral part of the world culture. Yeah. And it's good to know that once again, we as a people have contributed to the beauty and the rhythm of a vibrant world with the music that we bring and the way that we bring it.
No doubt, man. And Tech Nine has also did an amazing job for an independent artist to be on the Forbes list, have a headquarters in Lee Summit. Wow.
And I remember when Hooligan, there was a group that was with him. Hooligan was with
Hooligan.
them.
Hooligan.
Yeah. KCK.
Yeah, KCK. Matter of fact, that's what's his name? Dilemma. That was Dilemma. And D-Lo, the Gilgard.
Yeah.
That was the Hooligans.
Easterwood was his name.
Eastwood. You know, both Eastwood. One produced, another one rap.
Right.
And Dilemma. So look at you. Look at you doing about the hip hop here.
I try to be in touch with various aspects of the community.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm very fortunate to try and represent my district and to know some of the people, you know. But, you know, if you go back and check some old Vigilante, you know what I'm saying? You got all kinds of messages that can be brought, you know.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Now, if you had to choose between the movies, this is the last question. The Temptations, 5 Heartbeat, or New Edition. You only can pick one. And the Jacksons, too. I put that in there, too. The movies that dealt with artists. Temptation, The Jackson, New Edition, 5 Heartbeats.
See, I didn't see New Edition, so I want to be fair.
Man. Okay,
I did not see New Edition.
We'll hold that.
So far as 5 Heartbeats. But
over the Temptation, David Ruffin?
Yeah. Are you talking about in terms of a movie?
The movie, movie, yeah.
Yeah.
You like that better?
About the movie, yeah, because I thought it covered more of the ground. But I haven't seen New Edition. New
Edition is a great movie, man. You might want to go see it.
Okay.
It actually fits the bill. It's up there with them. When you watch it, you be like, whoa, I didn't think it would be that good, but it's great. It was a great movie.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so I can only go by the 3 that I saw.
So the 3, so you choose. You choose.
I will take your recommendation. It's great reference, you know. And I know that you may be a little biased because probably Halle Berry was in the one that you liked the most.
I told you, man, I'm working. Me and Halle Berry, we're gonna go see a counselor. We've both been running from each other for all these years. It's time to come home.
Right.
It's time to go home. So
now is the time.
Now's the time. Me and Halle Berry. It's time for her to change that name to Suggs. Thank you.
She's gonna hyphenate.
Yeah. Because we need the money now. Because the school ain't gonna pay me enough to maintain, you know, Halle Berry lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah. So, where can people, if they wanted to, reach you or write to you? Where can they reach you?
David.Hailey at senate.ks.gov or SENHALEY at AOL.com.
All right, man. Thank you for coming, man. This has been Vigilante for 2 minutes and some change. I'll pull my brother over. We sat down, we talked, had a bunch of sister girls in the background being loud on the thing. But hey, it's real as it get when I call them in the field, y'all. We're in the field. We're not in the conference studio. That's how Senator Hailey is. You can stop him anywhere. If he got time, he will make time.
Well, I appreciate you doing it. I really do. And I hope this isn't the last time we do it.
Oh, no, I'm going to get on. We're going to talk about what we are talking about in that room, what you need to do. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to keep it secret for now. It won't be a secret. We're going to have the exclusive. We are the movement, and we are out. Yeah, and I'm back. Yeah, that was a good interview. I had to catch him, and, you know, when we sat down, we talked about a lot of other things, but I say this for the show and some plans that he got later on, man. We just wanted to sit back and capture him because we had a lot of people here, and people talk about the gun laws and things that's going to happen on the campus, where a lot of people do not want the guns to be able to be on the campus. And, you know, you got a big fight with that. There's a big fight going on right now where people want guns on campus, and a lot of people don't want it on there. So we're going to see about that. And I didn't get a chance to record it, but we talked about the Remy Ma, Nicki Minaj thing and how everybody it's still going on. It's starting to die down a little bit. And as we walked out of, to me, Black History, and to me, Black History Month seemed like a dud. We did things in my program. We did a lot of things, but it seemed like a dud overall. And I want to know, anybody can call in or whatever. I want to know, why do we feel so indifferent about Black history, but so hype about Cinco de Mayo, so hype about St. Patrick's Day, and as well as Mardi Gras over Black history? My thing is, why don't we show the same enthusiasm? A lot of people say, well, I celebrate my history, all year round. Where? It really bothers me. It really, really bothers me that we do not. It just seems like there's so much indifference. There's so many shows, there's so many everything that we get into, the movies and all those different things, but never like it used to be. At least for me, it used to be a love for it. Everybody participated in it. There was so many things going on. I don't know about your city, for the ones that are not listening in Kansas City. I don't know, but in this city, it was a dud. It literally was a dud. And it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to know that it was a dud. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what we can do. I posted stuff. We celebrated. Like I said, we show movies. We talk about the things, the inventions and other things that we can do. But yet it still seemed like nobody was into it. So it went out with a dud. And now we in March, which is the greatest month of all time. But we're going to keep Black History going in the program we do. We're going to meet twice a month and do Black History. We're going to meet and we're going to do it because I feel that it's important. I feel that we have to wake up and see the bigger picture. And I think that we don't see it. I don't know what y'all thought about Trump's speech last night. I mean, it's so many things that are distracting us from looking at bigger issues. And as we continue to push, as we continue to move to that next level, I want to know, what can we do? What can we do to not repeat history? To look at history, love it, learn from it, grow off it, but not repeat it. That's the biggest issue I think we have in our society in dealing with our people and other people to like us, is that we have so much built up in us, and we've been programmed to think negative towards each other, that we can't see the light that we all possess as people. And to me, that's a shame. That's the shameful part of being caught up in situations like that, is that we cannot see the light. And I wish we could, because if we could see the light and see what we all have to offer, I think the world would be better. I think that the things that we need to pay attention to, where he was talking about protecting your neighborhood, financial Juneteenth and financial responsibility. And trust me, I need that bad. I'm not scared to tell anybody that. I need to be set up on things so that I can take what I have and be a good steward of it. How can we be not only a good steward of money, but a good steward of our attitude, a good steward of our behavior, to see the bigger picture? That's the thing that bothers me, you know, and I think that all the things that happen in this world are distractions. It's so cool. I like entertainment. I'm a part of entertainment, but I think that we are so distracted that we don't get a chance to see what's really going on in this world. I don't think so. I really don't think we get a chance to see that. So it's unfortunate, and I don't know. I don't know. Also, speaking of the Remy Ma situation, it was over 6. It trended over 10. I think 10 or 11 million people that was talking about this situation. Radio station. It made it to the television, talking about the beef between Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. And I'm from battle rap. I'm from hip hop like that. I get it. I love the competition. The competition. I think that part of it is good, but the personal jabs, you know, you deal with that. That's a part of hip hop. So it's not a problem. It's just the fact that I just wonder, can we take the same mentality and put it in artists that are doing great in the community? They are doing, or is that too boring? Is it just the fact that doing right can be perceived as boring and being bad, like the bad guy, or talking about the, you know, bad things or things that are what we call cool? Is that's the reason that stuff get our attention more than the thing? I call it diet food. Diet food versus junk food. Well, junk food is good. It's real good. It make you feel good for the moment, but in the end, it's not that good for your body. So is that the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Is that the same thing? And then you look at March Madness. And it's crazy. You know, we're going to watch the tournaments, It's going to have our attention, especially the first 2 weeks of who getting upset, will the big people make it. All these things come in a row from the Super Bowl all down to distract us for what's really going on. And like I said, we will show up at a game. It could be 0 degrees outside, and we will tailgate for it. Cook your barbecue and be ready to go to the football game. 800,000 will show up for a World Series. I like sports, so I'm just keeping it real. And we feel so good about that my team won. You feel good like you really accomplished something. But what did we really accomplish? Just to say that you won? I mean, it's a bunch of power. Here's a song. I normally don't do this on this show, but I gotta throw this song on. I gotta throw PowerPoint by Straight Jacket on, and I will return with more on 2 minutes and some change, not the blog, but the radio.
Powerful power moves, using power for power tools. By the power of essence, the essence making us powerful. We power driven, power's given and taken away. Power's hidden, or it's missing, or it's displayed. Some work to acquire power, some have that buying power. There's power in silence, also power in violence. We power proficient, we're placed in a power position. I power the mission, cause it's a power commitment. With power's permission, I'm making power decisions. You can listen or get devoured by power's persistence. You push the power button on a power play. We power stamp, permanent source, deeply rooted a power plant. It's a powerhouse, power shifting, we power tripping. Power gripping, power lifting, and power hitting. Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, we power pistons. This power train is power sliding, we power drifting. Powerful power move, power. Powerful power move, power. Powerful power move, powerful power move, power. Powerful power move, power. Powerful power move, power. Powerful power move. Powerful power move. It's the pinnacle of power. The upper echelon, I'm pinning power, pushing these powers, putting the pressure on. Powerful lunch, evenly throughout the hexagon. Seconds are precious, witness the power of Megatron. Display power like when powder popped in the PJs. Power Rangers, fighting the power, popping the relays. Powerful professional, pet peeve is failure. Pessimistic, but the power and pessimism will tell you. Scared man can't win, wise words for wise soul. Pushing powerful paragraphs out of this pie hole. My goal is to harvest and gain power. Power trickles around my collar like spring water for hours. PowerPoints, all at the end of my fingertips. Power stroke, power through, powerful fingerprints. There's power in numbers, you strong as your weakest link. When you think of power, it's easy to think of me. Another powerful people in the power grid, running power crews. So welcome to the hour of power rule. Powerful power move, power. Powerful power move. Powerful power move. Powerful power move, power.
Yeah. That's Straight Jacket featuring E. Diggs, PowerPoints. Yo, so I just want to know what's the deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Why are we so indifferent toward things that can help us? And do we allow championship games, Super Bowls, and all these things to distract us? I want to know because it's just, I don't know. I guess when you get a little bit more illuminated in your thoughts, you start to see things, and it becomes like a talk show that you got a beginning, a middle, or a television show, and it seems like everything's scripted. Because as soon as we focus on something that can really take us to the next level, something comes up to distract us. And that's unfortunate. And I want solutions. I don't just always want to talk about the problems. There's a lot of young people out here doing things well. A lot of young people out here taking care of their business and making things right and stuff like that. So we just have to keep pushing and making things, grow. So I don't want to say it's all gloom and doom, but man, can we get to that next level? That's the thing. Can we get to the next level? That's what I want to know. And it's tough. It's tough to think that our future is bleak to the point where people are not even safe in their own neighborhoods. People are frustrated by financial crisis, Families are torn apart. And we're in 2017. But yet, the cycle continues. And speaking of that, what's going on? I had to call Dr. Samori up, and he's calling in to talk about it, man. You've been hearing what I've been talking about, man. What are your thoughts about the indifference of Black history and things like that, brother? What I was talking about.
Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. Forgive me if you hear a lot of background noise. You caught me. I'm out picking up a little bit of food for the evening.
Yeah.
But can you hear me pretty well?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Okay. The indifference. It's because of the fact that we don't take ourselves seriously. We prioritize other people's heritage, other people's tradition, other people's contribution to society over what we're contributing or what we can contribute. We don't believe in our products or services enough to place importance on it. We don't believe in our heritage enough, the importance of our heritage enough, to really make it mean something. And that's why we don't celebrate it like we used to. Also I feel like we're removed from the struggle. Like people now back then, when I say back then, let's just talk about, I'm not going to go back as far as slavery. Let's just say civil rights. People, they were in the thick of it. This is when they had police dogs on them. You had them fire hosing them down, all types of craziness. You remember when they was marching over the Edmund Pettus Bridge and all that. Like, the struggle was really real. Now, not saying that it's not real now, because we definitely got police, putting holes in black bodies, choking the life out of individuals. We got the prison industry complex jumping off on an exponential level. But I believe at the same time there's a dichotomy where there's a lot of people that they feel comfortable, they feel safe, and they're satisfied, or sedated. It's like, yo, you know what? Well, as long as, I got my weed, I'm blazing good, I'm smoking good, I got my lean, I got my sip, I'm good, I'm chilling. Or, yo, you know what? I'm living well. I've got my 6-figure salary, or I've got my 7-figure salary, and I'm doing well. And even to the point where we do superstar worship, what you're talking about, with the different teams. So, you see the NFL players, you see the NBA players, they're winning championships, and we're celebrating with them. That's what we talk about. Oh, you see what he did last night. Yo, you see how he caught the ball. Yo, you saw how he did this in the dunk contest, X, Y, and Z. We celebrate with them like we bring home, like we cashing that check. like we cashing that check. You ain't cashing that check. They cashing that check. The NBA commissioner, the NFL commissioner, they cashing that check. The stadium that's making them money, they cashing that check. All the merchandise and the franchise and all teams, they getting that money. You're not getting that money. But we feel the need to connect ourselves to it. But it's a false connection because we're not getting anything from it. But we feel safe, we feel comfortable, and we feel content. And they keep pacifying us with, the movies, with the sports, the holidays back to back. Like you said, you got St. Patrick's Day coming up. They're going to hit us with we just came from Valentine's Day, we came from Mother's Day. we had the Super Bowl, about to have March Madness, and we're going to have the NBA championships, and then it's like, summertime come, we're going to turn up because the heat is on. Bro, it's so much distraction.
Yeah.
But if they were to remove the distraction, there's no Meek Mill and Drake beef. There's no Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma beef. Mm-hmm. There's no Fat Joe and Papoose beef. Mm-hmm. There's no Jada Kiss and Beans beef. Mm-hmm. There's no Jay-Z and Nas beef. There's nothing. There's no 50 and whatever. You remove all the distractions, people will start realizing the amount of pain that they in.
Yeah.
But it's, what I'm saying, what it is like, they got us anesthetized where we're not feeling the pain because we're distracted. But you remove the distractions, people are going to feel that pain.
You're right.
Then they're going to speak up. then they're going to speak up.
It's like a proverbial block. You know when you put a block, when I hurt my knee, I had a block on my leg, man. You could have chopped my leg off. I would have never felt it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they got, a proverbial block on us mentally, a lot of us. And the ones that are not, it's like talking to a brick wall to get people to understand what you need, because we need each other, because even though they don't know, and it takes too much to convince them, because it's like a drug and like junk food. It is so addictive that we get diabetes in the mind when it comes to change. You see what I'm saying? And the only time now watch how I play this. We get diabetes in the mind because we we don't want to change until they have to cut something off. You get fired from your job. The police beat you up. Then something is cut off. Then you start to take it a little more serious because you don't want to lose anything else. Where you lose a kid or a family member, you know what I'm saying? Or you get fired. So we got to get that diabetes, and we don't want to take the insulin of truth. And then when they start messing with our homes, we're losing our house and our jobs, which is our kidneys. Nobody wants to be a donor.
Nope.
Yep.
It goes back to all these conversations that you and I have.
Yeah.
That we've got that convenient activist syndrome.
Yeah.
We right now, not all of us, but a good portion of us, we're doing the whole Nas, Large Professor, and Akinili.
Yeah.
We're partying and bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we act completely oblivious to the suffering and the struggles that our brethren and our sisters are going through on a day-in, day-out basis. People working hard, busting their ass day in, day out for minimum wage jobs and shit, but at the same time, they constantly raising the cost of living. You can't even afford. Up in D.C., you know how much they charge it for, it was in the Washington Post. They have a 585 square foot apartment. That's even an apartment, man. You living inside of a microwave. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Man, they charging $2,700 for that. Come on.
Man, are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead ass. I'll send you the articles. Then at the same time, you factor in the fact that you have kids. Average daycare, man, is running almost like $250 a week, so you probably gonna spend like almost $1,200 a month on daycare. So that's just daycare and rent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they don't want to raise the minimum wage, so people are suffering. And then you got what's going on out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying, with the police, harassing and locking up people and doing all that type of stuff. But like you said, we're convenient activists. Everybody's partying and bullshitting until it's their kid. Then they become convenient activists.
Yeah.
You're not worried about it until you get that call at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then it's like, oh, I need y'all to show up. Can we get a GoFundMe page for my kid?
Yeah.
Can we get a vigil, candlelight vigil over here?
Yeah.
Oh, I never went to this church, but can this church do the funeral here and pass through my joint here? And you know what I'm saying? Like, people want to get involved after the fact.
Yep.
You need people to be activists now. And you don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? And I did my little spiel on the revolutionary tool belt. I'm not saying you got to be out in the streets with an AK-47 and black Timberland boots and a beret talking about rah, 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 black power, but it is the constant contribution of progress to make sure that we are included in the future. Whether that means if you're a cook, you're cooking healthy so that our black bodies are nourished and getting the proper nutrition. That means if you're a musician, you're making consciously minded music to make sure that our psyche is nourished so that we're thinking properly. Every time we turn on the beat, we're thinking properly, not thinking about, I'm about to load this whole clip inside this cat. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to twist his wig back. I'm going to lay him flat on his back. X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
If you're a clothing designer, make clothes that are consciously minded. Make apparel and regalia that's consciously minded about our people. If you're an architect, make sure that you're built. Think of, you look at the obelisk. You look at the Sphinx of Egypt. These were people. You look at Stonehenge. You look at what's the mountain before Mount Rushmore. These are architectural designs where cultures are putting their culture first, and they're showing you, I'm black. These are black people here. I'm native. These are natives here. I'm white. These are whites here. We have to start thinking about that in every perspective. And that is your activism. So whether you're in your artistic bag, you're in your culinary bag, you're in your literary bag, you're in your documentary film bag. That is the activism. Everybody needs to play their part somehow.
I know, man. And the thing is, you know what's crazy? It is so simple, but we make it so complex.
Yep.
It's like exercising. We know exercise can help us, but man, I don't feel like doing it, man. But for anything that's bad, we'll run extra miles, stay up extra hours to do it. Which leads me to what everybody's been talking about, and I know you went to see it. Give me the scoop on the movie Get Out.
Oh man, I'm about to go in.
Go in.
I'm about to go in, but the other thing, before I go in on that, here's another thing where I'll tell you about where people keep doing other things for other people and not embracing ourselves.
Okay.
The same way that we embrace St. Patrick's Day and all of that and don't embrace our stuff, that's the same way it was coming with all these damn, like, the bucket challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of this nonsense. Like, yo, why don't you do some stuff for, like, sickle cell disease that affects African Americans? You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. But the movie Get Out, man, excellent movie. Great movie. Great. Now, you know, it's done by Jordan Peele.
Wow.
Jordan Peele, he was on Comedy Central with Keegan Mike and Keith.
I remember.
And, and, you know, he's married to a white woman.
Okay.
And he put together Get Out, man. Great movie. From content to creativity and cinematography, I loved it.
Okay.
A lot of people were buzzing about it, trending on Twitter, trending on Facebook, all of that. It got pushed back from, I'm not going to say a lot, but white society pushed back saying, oh, this is racist, this is reverse racism here. But basically what it was you had this interracial dynamic. So you had this black guy dating this white girl. Mm-hmm. They are supposed to go meet the parents. They've only been dating for about like 5 months. Now, allegedly, she never told her parents that she's dating a black guy, right? So he's like, baby, what's up? You didn't tell your parents that I'm black? She's like, well, why should it matter? If we in love, it doesn't make a difference. So he's like, all right, he's kind of reluctant, decides, all right, yeah, we're going to roll out there. So they get out there, and, they have a little brief run-in with a deer. They had a deer accident, and they had a little brief run-in with the police. Mm-hmm. Get to the house, meet the parents, white mom, white daddy, nice, well-to-do home with a lot of acres of land, black female maid, black male groundskeeper, So, they're talking, so the father is a white neurosurgeon. Mm-hmm. He does brain surgeries and all that. The mother, she's like a behavioral therapist.
Okay.
So she specializes in hypnotism. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, things start getting real weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way the black female housekeeper is acting towards him. She keeps disconnecting his phone, looking at him all strange, like real strange. The black male groundskeeper looking at him real strange. Mm-hmm. And, he has, the black guy has this cigarette addiction, he goes out to the back to smoke a cigarette at night. So he comes back in, the mom, it's probably like 2 or 3 in the morning, the mom is sitting in the chair like, hey, she surprises him, turns the light on, like, look, I want to talk to you, and basically she hypnotizes him.
Whoa.
And he didn't even realize he was being hypnotized. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had her method down pat, with a cup of tea. Literally, like, with a cup of tea and a spoon. Hypnotizing him, gets in his head, right? Mm-hmm. And so makes it in a way that every time she kind of, like, clanks her spoon against the cup, he's paralyzed. So he starts figuring out, like, yo, this stuff isn't adding up here. I'm seeing things. They just had this party, where they had all these white guests come to the house. They're, tripping out, like, looking like they've never seen a black man before. Like, oh, my God, look at his muscles. And, is it what they say about black men? And like their sexual package? And, wow, wild stuff. So he sees this other black guy that's there. And he's like, yo, what's up, bro? Trying to be cordial. Like, what's up, bro? Like, feel good to see another black man here. And he was like, he turns around and he's talking real awkward and, real nerdy, howdy-doody type. He ends up taking a picture of the black guy. And when he does that, the dude trips out. You know what I'm saying? His nose starts bleeding, and he, charges out. He's like, get out of here. Boy, get the fuck out of here. So everybody's like, yo, they grab him up. They take him away, do some shit to him. Come to find out, man, long story short, man, they was hypnotizing black people and bringing them out to the house. At the basement of the house, the dad has a surgical clinic. Mm-hmm. And so what he's doing, man, he's organ harvesting. He's taking the organs from black people and transplanting them into these wealthy white people that need organs, man. And, it's crazy. I mean, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy movie. But it was good because it hopped on the ideas that people, like some white people may be like, this is racist, but it's like, no, not necessarily racist. It's true when we talk about historically about the experimentation and the exploitation of black bodies. You know what I'm saying? Whether we talk about the Tuskegee experiment, whether we talk about what y'all did with Emmett Till, whether we talk about white girls and black men dating, and we talk about Emmett Till, we talk about the Scottsboro Boys, we can talk about Rosewood. We can talk about the Central Park jogger case. What y'all do to that? What y'all do to black men when it comes to interracial dating? We can talk about, I said Tuskegee experiment, but we could also talk about what happened with Henrietta Lacks. Yeah. When it was kind of like, look, y'all harvested her cervical cells, and y'all didn't even let her know that. Y'all didn't even let her parents know that, but then y'all took that money, y'all took those cells from her, you harvested that from her, and used that to make $1 billion industry off of her. How about that? I mean, you think about H.H. Holmes. This is a doctor in Chicago. Dr. H.H. Holmes was in the 1800s. He went to Michigan School of Surgery, medical doctor, guys they bring during the World's Fair. He made his money by putting out life insurance policies on cats, killing them, taking the cadavers and all that. Bought a building, and in that building during the World's Fair, this motherfucker, he was up in there, taking bodies, killing people. They say he killed over 200 people.
Dang.
People would come up inside the hotel where he had holes in the wall where he would, he could look through the cracks in the wall. I mean, it was like a real horror house. It was called the Castle. It was called the Castle. Mm-hmm. And he killed over 200 people, man, doing all type of crazy experimentations with their body. And this is real life. It's called H.H. Holmes. Okay. That's his name. Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. Leonardo DiCaprio is supposed to be starring in the movie for. Sorry about that. Hold 1 second, Vince.
Yeah. Man, you're hearing a lot of stuff. You're hearing Dr. Samori go in on some history, and I got him on the run like I got the senator. So I try to get the interview any way I can, man. And he's going in and he's talking about some stuff that we need to pay attention to. We need to look at and not and realize these things because the boy that they found in Atlanta. In the gym, they found his body. He was wrapped up and had newspapers in the place of his parts.
Yeah, Kendrick Johnson. They killed him. They took his body part. You had the case of Ryan Singleton. Ryan Singleton was a homosexual African American fashion model. Mm-hmm. They found his body out in the desert with his organs removed. You know what I'm saying? So you got that. What else can we say, man? I mean, there's a book I encourage people to read. It's called Medical Apartheid. Medical Apartheid. And the subtitle is something like A History of White Colonial Experimentation on Black Bodies Since Colonial Inception to the Present. Wow. And I mean, the sister Henrietta Washington, I believe her name is Henrietta Washington. And I mean, it's a thick book. It's over 300 pages, just detailing how whites have used black bodies, man, You think about like Sarah Bartman, the African woman.
Yeah.
When we be looking at, guys, sometimes we getting our we getting our virility back, man. We looking like, shorty has back. She got a thing on her X, Y, and Z, but she got a cannon. But they have these whites that went to Africa, man, and they got Sarah Bartman, and named the Sarah Bartman.
Yeah.
Out of Africa. She had a very pronounced buttocks. And they brought her back to Europe, and they just paraded her around Europe. They sledded her out in the prostitution, man. She ended up having syphilis, man, the way she died. I mean, they had her literally like it was a circus act. You know what I'm saying? And so, you just see this type of stuff. And so this organ harvesting is real. Dick Gregory talks about it a lot.
Yeah.
There was a ring in New Jersey that worked between New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and even in Israel and a couple of other foreign countries, where they catch some of the poor people that, they're so hard up for cash and assets so they can survive. These people, they will actually like, I got two, you don't need both kidneys to live. So they'll like give up a kidney to get money, you know. So you have that dynamic. Then you can't forget about the New York Times article where they said 1.5 million black men are missing. And, some of it they attribute to the fact that when they say missing, meaning they should be here, but they're not here. Some of them they mention are victims of homicide. Some of them are in jail, and then some of them are just missing. Yeah. So you just have to think about the fact that, like, organ harvesting is a real phenomenon, man. And long story short, it was a great movie, man. I encourage people to check that out, man.
No doubt.
What else was on the menu, man? So you told me to call in. You got me hyped.
We're going. Hey, we're going to keep him. I want you to stay on because that's what we're talking about, man. I want to continue to feed these people that listen to the show and let them know that we're doing something different. I want to keep things going. And like I say, man, I also want to talk about, what we really can get into is, I call it intellectual gangbanging. When are we as a people, with all the people that speak, you got all type of speakers that's out here, all type of leaders that's out here, and we're talking about what, black people need to do. We need to do this, we need to do that. But when are we going to, since we're supposed to know what's going on, and everybody do have one collective agreement that, we're in trouble, we need help, we need from financial. You got Claude Anderson talking about the things we need to do. I want to know why, if that's the case, that we know all these different things, that yet we still don't really get along to work together as that unit that we dream about, that unit that we talk about, but yet at the same time, we still fighting with each other and people don't talk with each other. How can we break that, or is that even possible?
So you're dealing with ego. This is the Bobby Brown effect. This is whenever you hear a lot of the old school music groups, you have like Hal Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. You know what I'm saying? People arrive as a group.
Yeah.
And you have this thing where we have a psychological complex where people are, look, you know what? I want to be the star. I want to be the one. People take too much vitamin I. You know what I'm saying? Vitamin I nowadays. I gotta be the one. I gotta be seen. I gotta be heard. I gotta be the leader. And that's what happens. That's truly the only thing that happens between the ego and the money, because people are pimping the revolution for cash. Mm-hmm. This is the dynamic that we're seeing. So this is why we can't get along. This is why you see, rather than, like you and I always have this discussion of Voltron, rather than having Voltron, with Claude and Boyce and Umar, and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming together as a collaborative, collective force in America, we have to be divided. We have to be segmented. Not realizing that segmented is the easiest way to take somebody out, because it's harder to fight against a force than it is to fight an individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is what we're dealing with here, and they're picking us off one by one. It's the same thing when you think of civil rights. It's like they were like, okay, well, you guys are talking Black Power and all, but we know that it's, rather than everybody being one band, one sound, y'all have Malcolm over here talking, Black nationalism. You have Martin over here talking, civil rights, equality, and inclusion and integration, and what they do. They smoke Medgar Evers in his driveway. They smoke Martin Luther King on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. They smoke Malcolm on the stage in the Audubon Ballroom. And that's how white supremacy works. The rest will just lock up. So they lock up the Panthers, and that's how the game goes. So it's the same thing here. Now they can definitely snap you out. We can think of what was the activist in when Michael Brown got killed in Missouri. There was this.
I can't think of his name. Something happened to him. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
They found him shot and burnt inside his car. So you talk too loud, you can get it.
Yeah.
We see that they'll do it to you digitally, cyberly now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you see the censoring of black voices. You saw Boyce Watkins got his fan page taken down with over 400,000 followers.
Yeah.
For him being banned from Facebook. A lot of correspondents that work with him, a lot of them got banned from Facebook. You've seen YouTube channels being taken down without any explanation. So what it is really is we have to come together. We have to be inclusive of thought. We have to think race first. Because it's definitely a race war. We have to think race first, and we have to be dedicated to it. And we have to remove the ego, and we have to remove that capitalistic greed, that hunger, that taste, that appetite for, I'm gonna try and make money off of this. Like if you're out here trying to get money by pimping revolution, you need to get the hell up out of the revolution, because you are the enemy. You are the enemy. You're not really about that life.
Yep.
So,
and here's the thing, before we get to that, I got another thing we want to talk about. Let me go to commercial break. Hold on 1 second.
It's the Know Her CEO, Grifter Gritter, rocking with Tell It Like It T.I. is. I got the streets many, man. Wyandotte County repping, man. The whole city supporting me, man. I'm really loving this movement, man. Holla at me, man. Instagram, official Know Her CEO. Facebook, Miko Griffin. Or you can reach me at my email, knowhusclothing@gmail.com. Know Hers?
Yeah, we're back. Had to do a little No Hus clothing line. Make sure you go check out his clothing line. He got the whole city going crazy. I'm back with Dr. Samori Swygert, and we're here talking about some things that we need to do. Right, we don't have the leaders necessarily together, but they got that same ideology of trying to make it happen for black people. Tell me this. What about the regular common people? We talked about the distractions. We talk about the top of what they're doing. So at the bottom, we're distracted. At the top, they can't get along. Then what do we do, Samori?
What we can do is the small grassroots efforts that in culmination and accumulation of small efforts that we may see the greatest productivity and the greatest success. It starts with little things like this that I'll tell you that I see. Okay. What you're doing with SBOE, that is key. Because what is it doing? It's reshaping the mind state of the next generation. See, we also have to remember, each generation is dying.
Yeah.
And, who's carrying the torch? So we have to reshape our thought process in mind. So it's things like what you do with FDOE. It is, well, I follow you guys. You have, I think her name is Kim Sasha. I see her doing some things. I see her doing some things with film. You have to understand that that's a powerful thing because right now in this generation, we do have a lot of readers, but a lot of us now, being a time is so fast-paced and rapid, people don't really have a lot of time to sit down and read through, massive amounts of literary work.
Yeah.
So people relying on movies and films and short docu-films and shows. And so it is imperative that, look, you know what? We start creating our own media content that has a cultural and conscious-minded content that will force us to really think about where we are, what we need to do. So everywhere we turn around, we're like, oh, okay, let me get back on the job. The job is Black progress.
Yeah.
So everywhere they turn around, it's like, oh, you know what? Let me get back on my job. I just saw Kim Sasha's show.
Yeah.
Damn, I got to get back on my job. I just saw FDOE.
Yeah.
It is the different things that we do. It's my radio show when I'm facilitating and talking about different issues. So they they can go to the radio, they can go to the website.
Yeah.
It's the little things that people do, whether you're having study groups, whether you are a parent and you're reading to your children, about financial literacy, you're teaching yourself financial literacy. Like, I do investing in stocks and all of that. Yeah. Listen, did I take any course? I didn't take no course in but you know what? I can read. So guess what Samori Swygert did? I took myself to Barnes & Noble. I bought me an Investing for Dummies book. I purchased it, and I read and read, and I constantly resort to the reference. If there's something I don't understand, I ask questions. I mean, it's not that hard, people. Sometimes I believe we make it harder than it's supposed to be. We make it harder than it's supposed to be, rather than just doing it. Like, you think of Harriet Tubman, right? Yeah. Now, they're in a more dire situation than we're in right now. They literally was like, yo, I am on a plantation. There is a master here. I will get beat to death if I do X, Y, and Z. That's not us. I mean, we're in a system of oppression, but I mean, you go to work, you come home, you can sleep, you can drink, you can work out, have fun, listen to music, do whatever you want to do. Yeah. That's a lot different than what Harriet Tubman. But guess what? She was like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to get my little crew, and we're going to do what we're going to do. I can't get all of y'all. Matter of fact, not all of y'all even want to come. Some of y'all are comfortable on massive property. And the thing, don't like it like this.
I know. And the thing is, we also got, like, you went and got the book, and also we have Google University and YouTube University. Where you could Google and YouTube. Like, when I got tired of begging people about websites, I used to tell you all the time, on Sundays, I would just get on the computer and learn how to build my own site. I got tired of asking people.
Exactly.
So by seeing the young people do what they do, we have to, I think that one of the solutions, we have to make Facebook and all these other places our weapon. Like, with the blogs and the TV shows and stuff like that. But the thing is, to get people to support it, to even listen to it, is hard because you're fighting, once again, even on the social media, ignorance. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss, and it's bliss like a mofo here that you can put out, hey, how to make money by investing in Jordan shoes versus when the Jordan shoe come out. How many people go by? You try to tell them how to make money off the shoe, and they want to pay money for the shoe instead that they had it first. So it's tough, man. So as we kind of close out, if you had to, I'm a lawyer, you a lawyer, what would be your closing argument for us for progress in the future?
For progress in the future. For progress in the future, it's going to be, first things first, pull the blinders off and realize that we're in a war and we're in a very serious, dangerous time. If you don't have that, if you have the blinders on, if you have the blindfold on, you're never going to understand why it's important to do the next couple of steps. So first thing is understand that this is we're in serious times. Next step is understand money and finance. No, I'm not going to say that. Next step would be develop a group of people where you can trust. There's a cycle of reciprocal trust, loyalty, respect, and support. That is one of the big things, because you can't get your project off the ground. If I got a movie coming out, I'm relying on you guys to help push this forward. Mm-hmm. Not to say, you know what, you came out with a movie, I don't want you to shine on me, you know what I'm saying? You're going to probably shine over me. You need people that are going, that trust. That trust is key, man. It's key. So trust, loyalty, and support. You need a system of that with a strong group of people, maybe about a good 10 people, because they all know somebody that they trust. Now, with that is the money game. Got to get the money game right, because that's where the power lies. Every day it's a thing about money. Whether you're waking up saying, like, I'm going to buy some coffee. I got to buy some food. I got to pay some bills. So understanding the importance of money, how we're going to get money, educate yourself on money. If you need to take yourself to Barnes & Nobles and get you an Investing for Dummies book, learn the stock market and all of that, you need to get that right. And then I would say from the money, we need to worry about getting our neighborhoods safe. We need to partner up. Somehow, when we have like-minded individuals, enough of us, we really, it's going to be serious. Physically, we have to get strong. Like, literally, squatting, doing the benches. No, seriously. Because, it's a war going on outside no man is safe from. Yeah. Whether we're talking about white supremacy coming inside the neighborhoods, or even dealing with these knuckle-headed cats out here in the hood, that out here killing people, because they're killing our babies. They killing, Matt Marlin had the whole campaign, stop killing my kids. Yeah. They're killing potential soldiers that we need for the battle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that type of person, you need him up out here just as much as you need the Klan up out here. Yeah, you really do. So we're going to need a team of people that can, usher and escort cats about the hood. And then we have that. We have the money. What else would I say? It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Well, I'd have to actually sit down and map it out, and we have to have another conversation. Because when I get in my bag, I will definitely go all the way in. Yeah, and I want you to, because we do want to come back to this. My closing statement would be everything you said, but the people that who seems to get pimped in every situation, whether it be from television, clothing, food, medicine, the medical, everything, we must demand that the so-called people that's advocating for us come together as a unit, or we ain't trying to hear none of them. Because they got way too much to offer to be separate. This is not the time to be solo artists. It's time to be New Edition. And I think that once the people demand that we want everybody together so we can do this, I think that's the only time we're going to be taken seriously, because it's almost like everybody is still following the brand that we had during the civil rights movement. Like you said, you call it out. We rode with Martin. We rode with Marcus Garvey back in the day. We rode with X and different people like that, when we all should have been finding some common goal to roll together, because everybody that I just named, people within their sectors was being discriminated against, was being killed and put in jail. So that's the common ground. That's what we all had in common.
So that should have been like, we've been separate later. Let's get together and come up with a plan to take care of the business we need to take care of, so that none of us have to lose loved ones or be mistreated, by the, at that time, the Jim Crow laws and stuff, instead of trying to come at it with 4 different ways when there's one common problem.
Right.
I would demand that right there. Second, I would demand that we not necessarily not support sports, but not make sports 24/7 for the young kid that's 5, 6, AAU, where all he do, we got our young kids playing every sports all year round, not having a childhood, not having time to study. They in this microwave movement where as soon as they get out of school, they playing soccer, they playing basketball, they playing baseball, but they're not playing nothing to enhance them mentally. And here's another thing we don't look at, because these kids are playing these different sports. By the time they 18 or 20, their needs are of a 40-year-old. So we're not looking at that. We got parents trying to live their dreams through their kids.
Right.
Where the sports and the sports is not fun anymore.
Right.
So it's crazy. So those are the things we have to wake up and do. And I demand that we have real stats that tell us what we're facing. And I demand black media step up and stop co-opting and start creating. I demand our rich people to start creating our own weapons and our own things that we can buy and sell, our own gun stores, our own place where we can get food that's not GMO'd, but organic food that we can live off of, that we have our doctors help us with these things, and we have our own black pharmaceutical companies. Now, ain't that a dream? Where's our black pharmaceutical companies that understand what we're going through, that we target the things that's wiping us out, like you said, diabetes and things that's dealing with the heart and high blood pressure? Well, where's those things at? We have the money. That would be my closing statement. If not, then we are definitely living in zombie land.
Right.
So where can they find you at to check out some of your great stories, man, and your radio show that you got in D.C., man? Kind of let people know where they can find you at, Dr. Samori?
People can find me on Facebook. On Facebook, they can find me on the Facebook fan page, 2 Minutes and Some Change, 2MASC, 2MASC fan page. So, I'm on there dropping articles, commenting on there. If you go to YouTube, you can just type in my name, Samori, Swygert, Swygert. You'll find a lot of videos. And if you're just on YouTube, you can just type in my name, and you'll find a lot of articles that I've done with Dr. Boyce Watkins on like Your Black World and Culture Critic, Financial Juneteenth, a lot of other sites. My website is blackladder.net. Black like the color, ladder like the instrument you climb.net, www.blackladder.net. Twitter is .swag06, DOCSWAGG06. If you like music, I got some music, great album called Porn, Poetry, Oration, and Narrative. That's on Amazon, Google, iTunes, and CD Baby. You just type in my name and pull it up. So that's where I'm at. And I'm on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can find me on Source Radio Network. It's a blog talk radio show. It's called The Pendulum. And it's blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
So, all right, man. Definitely, man. So we have to get together, man. I want to continue this, man. So let's do some research, both of us, and let's come back and get back to that part. We'll call the episode Get Out, because some of these people need to get out. And let real people, because all we want is peace. The ultimate goal, bro, is peace on this earth. That's it.
Yes.
We have to still believe that that's possible, but we got to get the ones that don't want peace out of here. Or at least their ideology out of here.
That's right.
Yep. All right, man. Thank you for coming in, man. You know you're always welcome on this show, man. We're like New Edition, you're Bobby Brown. There's always a 6 mic waiting for you.
All right, I love it.
All right, man. Peace out, bro. Hold on for the line right quick. Let me close out. Let me holler at you on the line. Just hold on for a second, okay?
All right.
Yeah. There it is, y'all. Another great show with 2 minutes and some change. The radio station, the radio show, and not the blog. But 2 minutes and change, the actual blog is coming back, y'all. I've been on hiatus for a minute, changing up, making things better, but we're going to keep doing our thing. Make sure y'all share the link. This was a great show. We started off with Senator David Hailey. Then we ended with Dr. Samori Swygert. So that's how we gets down. You know what I'm saying? We are the movement, and we are out.